Hello viewers, hope you all are doing fine. Today in this episode I am going to discuss with you about learning disabilities, like what is called learning disabilities, what are different causes and types and all these things. Okay, so before going to the details of the video, I have a small request for you that if you are quite new to my channel, then kindly do subscribe my channel, because your subscription is a very great support for me to go ahead. Okay, and if you had been before also to my channel for my videos and you haven't subscribed this channel so far, then kindly do it. Child who is affected with this condition will have difficulty in interpreting what he or she has already seen or heard or read. Okay, that is one thing. Like, we can understand it very easily. Like, if we ask the child to read something, okay, and after reading, then if we ask him or her that what have you read, please explain it to me, it will be very difficult for him or her to explain. Okay, and he will actually forget many of the things. Most of the things that he has already read, he will forget. So he will not be able to systematically arrange those things, okay, and he will not be able to remember those things properly, so he will not be able to express it to you in his or her own language. Okay, that is one very essential characteristics of learning disability, by which we can understand that that child must have a condition of learning disabilities. Of course, the situations should be age appropriate also. Okay, like for a very small child, if we ask him or her to read such a big thing which is quite appropriate for an adult, for example, or for a grown-up person, so that will not suit, or that will not be able to prove you this fact that the child is having some condition of learning disabilities or not. Okay, that should be as appropriate, then we will come to know it very easily. Next, learning disabilities is called a kind of invisible handicap or hidden handicap. Why? Because it is not like some other conditions of disabilities or special needs, as we say, like visual impairment, cerebral palsy, etc. Because if a person is having visual impairment, we come to know by looking at his physical features. It's quite obvious, depicted, okay, it's exhibited in his physical features. Okay, and if the person is having cerebral palsy, then also we will come to know by looking at the person, okay, from his gait or some other features will be there. Okay, but in case of learning disability, it so happens that it is never exhibited in any of your bodily features. That is, no such bodily feature is available by which we can say that this child must have a condition called learning disabilities. Now let's look into the characteristics of learning disabilities. Like, the child will have lack of attention and concentration. Okay, he or she will not be able to give that much attention or sit at a proper place that much attentively, paying that much attention as expected from him for doing or completing a specific activity. Next, if any concept is being described or being analyzed to that student, to that child, then also he or she will take lots of time, much more time in fact, to understand that. That is, there is little bit difficulty in understanding also. But remember one thing, my friends, that child with learning disability has average intelligence or above average intelligence. Now, strange thing is that if the child has average level of intelligence or above average level of intelligence, then also that child shows this type of difficulties. Then only we will come to know that this child must have a condition called learning disabilities. Such a child may have low self-respect. Among the causes of learning disabilities, there are some genetic causes also. A research was conducted upon a group of hyperactive children. Then it was found that 20% of those hyperactive children has one parent at least who was having hyperactivity. Since hyperactivity, that means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, is also considered as a type of learning disabilities, so we can say that genetic causes can also be there for a child to become learning disabled. Okay, other than that, some other causes are there, like prenatal causes we can say. For example, during pregnancy, if the mother was not getting adequate amount of nutrition, good food, or she was into drugs, or she consumed alcohol, or for example the pregnant mother suffered from German measles or rubella, that's a disease, or severe fever, then also the child may develop learning disabilities. And in case of perinatal causes, any kind of head injury may be there, okay, or any instruments if used during birth, then also that may affect the cells of the brain, which can cause learning disabilities in the child. Okay, and lack of oxygen supply to the brain at the time of birth, that's also one vital cause for a child to become learning disabled. In case of postnatal causes also include any injury or trauma to the brain mainly. Again, one important point is there, that is, if the development of the nervous system is slow in the child will develop learning disabilities. There are some types of learning disabilities. Okay, so at first I would like to tell you about dyslexia, that is reading disorder. In dyslexia, what happens, like if we ask the child to read a passage, that child will read as if he is not at all interested to read. Okay, he will read in such a way. Other than that, he or she will skip some words in between. For example, while reading a sentence, he or she will just omit one word, means he will not read that word and he will read this part of this sentence and the other part of this sentence also, later part of this sentence also, but he will just skip this word in between. Okay, so in between some words he or she will skip. Again, where he has to read as ba, that is B letter is there, he will consider it as D and he will read it as da. Okay, for example, BALL ball will be DALL doll, WEB web will be WED wed, like that. Means some letters he will reverse. If any direction is written somewhere and the child reads it out, then also he will have difficulty in understanding that written directions. Okay, such type of reading behaviors is shown by children having dyslexia. And when the child reads also, he or she will not have that adequate fluency or speed of reading. Next type will be dysgraphia. As the word suggests, it is the difficulty of writing. In this dysgraphia, same thing will happen, like the way he made mistakes in reading, same type of mistakes he or she will make in writing also. Like if in the classroom situation the teacher asks the students to copy from the board, okay, then this child having dysgraphia type of learning disabilities will have difficulty copying from the board. Obviously he will omit some words, that means he will not write, just skip some words. Okay, and in writing also, handwriting will be very bad handwriting will be there, no proper spacing will be there between words at the beginning of new sentence, at the beginning of paragraph. While taking care of such children, we need to be very much attentive, especially to work upon their handwriting also. This is my own experience that I am going to share with you now. Like if the child is multilingual, that is he or she is studying 2 or more languages as demanded by the curriculum, then what will happen, if you dictate him something and he is writing, then he will mix letters from both the languages. Okay, this is my own experience that I am sharing with you, that once when I was dictating to my student, then when he had to write the word cat, C-A-T, cat, what he wrote, he used the Hindi letter ka and A ki matra on top of that, and then he wrote the English letter T. That was his word cat. And very interesting point here is that the child doesn't even know that, he is not at all aware that he had made this mistake. And this cat word is not that he made this mistake just one time and the rest of the dictation part he wrote it nicely or correctly. It's not like that. Every time he had to write the word cat, he did the same way. Okay, So what I am going to tell you is that even if the child makes mistakes also, those mistakes has some pattern. So if we notice very attentively, we will come to know that this is his idea in his brain that 7 is written like this only. Okay, the word cat is written like this only, one letter Hindi, other is English. Okay, but our responsibility, our duty as teachers, parents, special educators, guardians, whoever, is that we need to point out that this is wrong, you should write it like this. And this thing also we need to remind him so many times, because they lag behind in understanding a proper concept, okay, in a proper time. So they take lots of time to understand. So we need to have that much patience. And one more point I would like to tell you in between, that learning disabilities is such a condition which is not curable. It can't be cured. But at the same time, one blessing for such children is that if they get proper guidance, if they get someone who is quite patient to teach them, then they develop it to a great extent that they can live their life very nicely even with this condition of learning disabilities. They don't face any difficulty. But the thing is that the early we can catch them, the better it is for them. And the one who is taking care of such a child or such children need to be very, very much patient. There is no shortcut to this patience and time that the child will take to learn or get some conception cleared. Next type is called DYSCALCULIA. So this is the difficulty in calculation. Calculation means this difficulty is related to mathematics, as we all know, or mathematical calculations that I am going to tell you. Now, in case of mathematics, what the child does, if he reads out a story sum also, then also if it is written as 42, he will read it as 24, and in writing also he will write it 24 only. Okay? Yes, 2 digits are there, 4 and 2. So anywhere and everywhere it may be there. Okay? This way they think. So they make this mistake. It is written as 42, they will read as 24 and they will write 24 also. Okay. Again, they reverse the digits while writing. For example, writing 7 should be like this, but according to them it should be like this. So they will write 7 like this, and they are quite unaware of this mistake that they have done. So it is our responsibility, our duty, that we need to tell them that this is not 7. 7 should be written like this. That too we need to make them practice lots of times. Many times we need to make them practice this. Then only that idea will come to their mind that yes, this is 7. I was wrong previously. Okay, and then they will overcome it. Writing 5, it will also be reversed. Writing 9, it should be like this, it will be like this for them. Okay, so it's not necessary that every child having dyscalculia type of learning disabilities will make mistakes with 7, 9 and this one, your 5 only. Okay, in other digits also they may make mistakes, and if they don't make mistake, then also such type of things will happen, that if they have to write 10, they may write 0, 1. Okay, but remember that these mistakes that they are making, these mistakes will also have some patterns, the way I told you before. Like if they write 5 like this, they will write 5 like this only everywhere, till the moment you don't point it out to them and correct them. So this pattern of mistake lets us know that that child must have a condition of learning disabilities. If we ask them to do some addition or subtraction sums, then also they may make mistakes. Simple addition, simple subtraction is fine to some extent. Okay, but there will be visible difficulty in doing addition with carryover or even subtraction with borrowing. Okay, they will just subtract the top number from the bottom number. and write the answer there. And in case of tens place, if no digit is there at the bottom number, at the bottom place, then they will simply write the top place digit at the answer place of tens position. In case of addition with carryover also, they show this difficulty. If 53 plus 38, okay, then obviously we will start from ones place, no? So it will be 3 plus 8 in ones place. So 3 plus 8 is 11. Okay, they will not write one and another one they will write on the tens place. No, they will simply write 3 plus 8 11. Then the digits at the tens position they will add simply and they will write below. So these type of mistakes they make and they are unaware of this thing. According to them, they did it nicely, they did it correctly, but when we check, then we need to point it out to them that see, this is not done like this, you need to do like this, this is like this. We need to correct them, then only they will learn. Another type is called attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That means ADHD. When we say ADHD, it is quite common for us, or like we know about it, we feel like that. Okay, so this condition is also considered as a type of learning disabilities. Okay, because this attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, this disorder is also caused by lagging behind of our development of nervous system. Okay, and other causes are just same with the causes of other types of learning disabilities that we have already discussed. Therefore, a child with ADHD shows some such kinds of symptoms, like they find it very difficult to play quietly. If I ask them that play quietly, if I ask him or her that play quietly, please don't make noise, be busy with your playthings. Okay, it is difficult for him to play quietly. Okay, another point, they are very inattentive, they don't pay attention to you at all, and if you tell him or her something also, he will not be able to pay attention, or he will not be able to listen to it carefully and follow this instruction. And if they are there to play some turn taking game, like I have to wait for my turn to play it, okay, then I have difficulty because I am ADHD. Okay, so I have difficulty waiting for my turn. Rather, I will prefer that let them come behind me, let me go first, let me play first, after playing I am free, all my friends will play after me. Okay, this will be my thinking because I am a child with ADHD. A child with ADHD talks excessively. Excessive talking is one characteristic feature of a child having attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Again, he or she is prone to leaving the seat every now and then. They are quite unable to sit at one place for a particular period of time which is expected from them. For example, in order to complete this class, we have to sit at our own place for 30 minutes or 25 minutes, for example. But this is not possible for a child having ADHD. He or she will tend to leave the seat every now and then. Okay, or if we ask him or her to just sit, don't leave your seat, sit down, like that, then also they will just fidget like this, making body movements in their seat, like they will show you that they are not at all interested in sitting at one place. Okay, you will come to know from their body language. They often lose things. Okay, things means you ask him to write something, then most of the time he or she will be with no pen. Okay, no, I lost my pen, I lost my pencil is there on the floor, means they will not be able to pay attention to what you are saying and what they should do according to your instruction. So when will these characteristics be exhibited in a child with ADHD? Obviously, we will come to know about these characteristics. These characteristics will be shown by the child before his or her age of 7 years. These symptoms should be shown by the child constantly, continuously. Then only we will think that the child has ADHD. Other than that, if such behaviors, if this inattention, if this impatience all these type of things, if this hyperactivity, if this lack of attention or concentration, if these things are shown in at least 2 situations or more than 2 situations, then we can think that that child is having ADHD. What are those situations now? Home situation, okay, like in your home, one environment, home environment is there, so that is your home situation. In school the situation is little bit different. If you visit some of your relatives place, then also it will be, the situation is, the environment is little bit different, okay. So in this way, in some get together the environment will be little bit different. In this way, if the child shows this type of behaviors in at least 2 situations, then we think that he or she may have a condition of ADHD. This hyperactivity condition is also encouraged by some food items, okay. For example, it is found in research that if the family is used to taking more of processed food or colored foods like that, then obviously the child will also eat those food, okay. So in that case, such type of processed food or colored food may cause hyperactivity in children if those are taken since a very early age, okay. So in case of food also we need to pay some attention. This is all about learning disability. Thank you so much.